Following months of debate, industry reaction, and unrelenting public indignation, Disney has formally declared a total reboot and thrown in the towel on their most recent Snow White version. This remake isn't your typical one. Disney is making a last-ditch effort to repair what has turned into a huge PR catastrophe, win back irate followers, and save one of their most valuable properties. Disney executives are watching in horror as the current Snow White adaptation, starring Rachel Zegler, has turned into a disastrous catastrophe for the business after investing $300 million in the project. The movie has received a dismal 2.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb. In addition to performing poorly, the film has become a complete identity issue for the Walt Disney Company, with no apparent way out of it for their 2025 box office projections. Speaking at a private media event, CEO Bob Iger reportedly went into complete panic mode due to the entire film scandal, not just the response from Rachel Zegler. Disney executives described the newly announced version as a quote course correction, essentially corporate speak for "we really screwed up and need to fix this fast. The situation has gotten so bad that even typically Disney-friendly critics who routinely shield the company have begun turning their backs when you're looking at rock-bottom IMDb scores and previously loyal media allies jumping ship. Things have truly hit crisis level. Disney is now promising a return to classic storytelling and a renewed tribute to the heart and soul of the original fairy tale. They're not just making another movie, they're desperately trying to win back the trust of audiences who feel betrayed and repair strained relationships with generations of fans who grew up loving Snow White. The Rachel Zegler version had been pitched as a bold modern feminist take on the 1937 classic, but from day one it attracted attention for all the wrong reasons. The film took wild detours from the original story, and those drastic changes didn't sit well with longtime Disney supporters. The internet went crazy when Zegler made remarks that many viewers took as dismissive or even insulting toward the legacy of the original film. She called the prince irrelevant and described the love story as awkward, remarks that swiftly went viral and caused widespread resentment from fans who felt the heart of a beloved classic was being carelessly torn apart behind the scenes. What was supposed to feel empowering ended up feeling disrespectful to the magic that made the original so beloved. Disney insiders claim that the backlash caught executives utterly unprepared. Although early test screenings had already elicited ambivalent responses, the full impact wasn't realized until the official trailer for the film was released, at which point fan communities erupted. The studio removed classic songs like "Someday My Prince Will Come" and substituted them with what many fans called horrible modernized feminist alternatives, leaving both film critics and nostalgic viewers feeling dissatisfied with the significant changes made to a tale that had once defined Disney magic. In an apparent effort to separate themselves from the fallout, reports stated that Disney's PR teams were working nonstop to contain damage, as hashtags criticizing their creative decisions trended constantly across social media platforms. With production scheduled to start in late 2025, Disney has formally announced a brand new Snow White project. It's not just a new remake, it's a total reset, leaving parents and devoted fans wondering what happened to the Disney they knew and loved. Although the official cast has not yet been announced, Disney has made one thing very clear. The decision to release a new adaptation so soon after the first one demonstrates how urgent the situation is and how much is riding on this project for Disney. This isn't just about remaking a movie, it's about saving one of their most treasured stories from permanent damage in an effort to reconnect with the audience that once adored it. This remake will return to the emotional core and visual charm of the original animated classic, which means bringing back beloved characters, iconic musical numbers, and the magical fairy tale atmosphere that critics claim was completely missing from the Zegler version. Insiders say the upcoming remake will feature a more traditional story arc closely following the original 1937 plot while allowing room for a few subtle, respectful updates. Disney has been under increasing pressure to defend its recent wave of live-action remakes, many of which have seen declining success, both critically and financially. With the Snow White brand now at risk of being permanently tarnished, studio executives believe a carefully crafted reboot might be their only chance for redemption. One producer claims that the modifications will be considerate rather than revisionist. Reintroducing classic elements with a dash of contemporary elegance is the aim, not fixing what was never broken. Disney has declined to comment on particular details, but this change in tone is a notable departure from the previous attempt, which many believed was too eager to destroy the underpinnings of the original plot. There are already whispers circulating around the next production. In contrast to the previous movie, where off-screen remarks were a significant distraction, Disney is reportedly looking for a lead actress who symbolizes the classic elegance of old Hollywood, someone with charisma, warmth, and strong voice skill, according to anonymous people close to the production. Stricter media training guidelines are reportedly part of this new project to guarantee that messaging remains concentrated and in line with the main ideas of the movie. The previous Snow White adaptation caused controversy due to choices about how to depict the seven dwarfs, as well as Zegler's remarks. Peter Dinklage, a well-known actor with dwarfism, had blasted Disney for using a Latina actress for Snow White, which he considered progressive, but still might have portrayed dwarfs in an antiquated manner. Disney swiftly dropped plans for traditional dwarf characters in favor of magical creatures brought to life by computer-generated imagery. Many actors with dwarfism expressed their annoyance at being passed over for roles that were tailored to them in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's for the dwarfs. This choice sparked yet another outcry. An actor said, "These are roles made for actors of my stature. I can't go out for the Harrison Ford or George Clooney roles because that's not for me, and now it's taken away." Following some difficult lessons, Disney has refocused on delivering stories in a unified manner. Internal disputes between the studio's marketing, creative, and public relations departments during the release of Zegler's film were exposed by leaked documents. These behind-the-scenes disputes resulted in inconsistent messaging and a promotional campaign that frequently felt disjointed and contradictory. The image of the movie suffered as a result of the misalignment, and Disney is resolved not to make the same mistakes twice. Disney's Consumer Products Division reported that millions of dollars worth of merchandise went unsold, dealing a significant financial blow to the company in response to these concerns. Severe merchandise from the previous Snow White release performed way below expectations, with major retailers slashing prices on toys and clothing just weeks after launch, a clear sign that fans weren't buying into it literally or emotionally. To spearhead the remake, Disney has put together a completely new creative team. Early reports state that the new screenwriter is renowned for striking a balance between intense emotion and well-developed character arcs, which many felt was lacking from the previous iteration. The director's name has not yet been formally revealed, but sources claim they bring expertise from both live-action and animated movies with a worldwide audience. Disney is placing a wager that this new creative team will produce a story that genuinely resonates with viewers around the world, and something that the previous iteration didn't. Although some revisions are inevitable, the new plotline will primarily stick to the original plot. According to sources, the cherished forest animals will be brought back to life, with improved animation that combines computer-generated imagery and realistic effects. These characters will be meticulously redesigned to steer clear of the issues raised by earlier redesigns. Possibly the biggest surprise is Disney's decision to bring back seasoned animators and consultants who helped shape the visual and emotional identity of Disney's golden era during the Renaissance period. These seasoned professionals have been brought on to guide the tone, pacing, and emotional flow of the new Snow White edition to insiders. Music will once again play a major role, combining new songs with beautifully restored classics like "Someday My Prince Will Come." Disney executives now think that re-establishing the company's artistic foundation is crucial to winning back viewers' trust. The first press release for the project struck a noticeably humble tone, openly acknowledging past mistakes. Without naming names, we recognize the importance of honoring the stories that helped build Disney into what it is today. This new chapter of Snow White is rooted in that appreciation and our dedication to telling timeless stories for today's audience. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler has remained mostly silent since the reboot announcement. Once praised for her breakout role in West Side Story, she found herself caught in the center of an online firestorm when criticism of the Snow White film reached its peak. Though her media appearances were intended to promote empowerment, they were widely perceived as tone-deaf and disrespectful to the original material. Later, Zegler claimed her words had been taken out of context, but by then the backlash had already taken on a life of its own. Her absence from the new movie was expected. While there hasn't been any official statement, sources say Disney is eager For a fresh start both on screen and behind the scenes, whether Zegler will comment publicly remains uncertain, but for now she appears to be stepping away from the spotlight, a move that aligns with Disney's apparent desire to keep the focus on the film rather than the personalities involved. Disney reportedly drastically reduced the premiere for Zegler's version after numerous unfavorable reviews surfaced. According to one insider, the Rotten Tomatoes reviews were looking pretty bad, and it seems like they tried to tweak a few things, but this movie is just fundamentally flawed. The controversy not only hurt the film's chances, but may have had long-lasting effects on the director's career. According to a single commentator, she destroyed hundreds of millions of dollars worth of IP for Disney, but she also has destroyed her career and the careers of anybody who worked on the movie. The situation got so bad that Hollywood executives and producers, who some have characterized as far-left left-wing activists, started to turn against Zegler, with Disney allegedly canceling all of her appearances on their media platforms. Disney reportedly even went so far as to hire a special media consultant to accompany Zegler and stop her from making any more controversial statements. Despite these obstacles, supporters online are expressing cautious hope about the remake announcement, demonstrating how desperate things had become for a project already beset by issues. Disney is counting on that sentiment to turn into genuine trust in ticket sales. The news has spurred discussions about redemption legacy and what it really means to return to a story as beloved as Snow White. While some people are still skeptical, others express hope for a return to form. One user wrote, "Give me the songs, the romance, the animation style, the forest, I'll be there opening night." Pre-production is anticipated to start in late 2025, and the movie's theatrical debut is scheduled for spring 2027. In order to create anticipation and goodwill, marketing initiatives are already underway with a thorough plan that includes official artwork, early album previews, and behind-the-scenes featurettes. It's unclear if this plan will succeed where the last one failed, but one thing is certain: Disney will not allow Snow White to live in the shadow of even one mistake. The studio is even in talks with Disney parks to bring back Snow White-themed attractions prior to the film's release, demonstrating how serious they are about repairing the princess's reputation throughout the Disney empire. This isn't another reimagining. As work gets underway behind the scenes, it's a reputational repair project for a studio looking to discover the fairy tale genre. If the new version finds the proper balance, it might remind viewers everywhere why Snow White was the movie that launched Disney animation. According to reports, executives are paying close attention to coherence, consistency, and emotional impact. Every aspect of the show, from lighting and set design to costumes and casting, is being meticulously examined by several departments to make sure it embodies both Disney's traditional values and contemporary storytelling abilities. Disney's challenge now is navigating a cultural landscape where audiences are increasingly skeptical of remakes, but still hungry for authentic storytelling that honors the past while acknowledging the present. The Snow White reboot represents more than just another attempt to mine nostalgia for profit. It's become a test case for whether Disney can recapture the storytelling magic that built their empire in the first place. The studio appears to have learned a crucial lesson from this experience. No amount of corporate glitz can replace the genuine magic of storytelling. For this Snow White to truly succeed, it must feel like returning home to the fairy tale that generations have loved. As one longtime Disney animator reportedly stated during a consultation meeting for the reboot, industry analysts will be closely monitoring whether this drastic course correction succeeds, but more importantly, so will the families and fans who have made Disney a cultural touchstone for almost a century. It's time to reflect on what initially drew people to Snow White, a tale of great wonder and timeless appeal that speaks to something real. For Disney's sake, they'd better hope he's